incredible women, it's time to tell you about another contributor for the Women Empowered Sexuality, Intimacy and Love platform. You have to meet Linda Moana from Linda Moana Coaching. Now, Linda is a love and relationship, or love and sexuality coach, I should say. She is such an incredible woman because for most of her, pretty much all of her career, she has actually been in finance. Very masculine, in a very masculine energy. And she decided one day that she didn't want to do that anymore and she wanted to become a love and sexuality coach. This interview is eye-opening. She is honest, she's open, she's frank. She's grown up most of her life in Asia. So she talks about cultural influences. She talks about so many incredible things. In our interview, we talk about how sexuality is life and a celebration of life. We talk about how our sexuality is often, or people are often fraught with guilt, shame, and fear. In the interview, we talk about how sexuality is where we have our greatest longings and desires, but also our greatest and deepest fears and blocks. We talk, or she actually shares openly her challenges in her childhood and how they affected her in her life later on in terms of her sexuality, intimacy, and love. She talks about how openly and honestly, it's so beautiful how she shares with us how she gave away her sexuality to boys and men to feel loved before she was married. She talks about how she felt the cultural pressures in Asia to work hard, get married, go and find a good job and succeed, and that as a result of that she lived most of her life in a really strong masculine energy, and she talks about the effect that that had on her. She talks about in her marriage how she was unavailable, emotionally unavailable. She was emotionally unavailable for her husband. She was in her masculine energy most of the time. She was being controlling, and she believed that the reason why she was in this energy and that she was being controlling was because she lacked self-love and trust in herself. She lacked self-love and trust in herself, which caused her to go into her controlling masculine energy. She said, she talks about how her libido was affected and decreased after childbirth. And she talks about how she feels and felt really numb and disconnected from her body. She talks about, yes, she was health conscious. Yes, she was spiritual, but her sexuality was undernourished. And she found that it was only until she reclaimed her truth and her core self that things started to change for her. Ladies, perhaps you can resonate with some of these situations, and I really encourage you to get onto the platform and hear what Linda has to say about it. She's open, she's honest, she's brave, she's a wonderful, wonderful contributor for the platform. If you've already got the platform, ladies, dive on in and listen to Linda. It's eye-opening and entertaining. Follow the link below if you don't already have the link, if you don't already have the platform, ladies, because we're waiting for you on the other side with so much fun, information, insight, and perhaps a new way of life. Thanks so much, ladies. Bye.